Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for joining me for today's video. So today I wanted to talk about something that has been on my mind a lot lately, and that is how to be authentic in a world that teaches you to be anything but. And this was something that I really dove into in 2020. I focused on what authenticity truly means and also what an authentic person really looks like. And in today's society, I feel like a lot of celebrities and very well-known people talk a lot about authenticity, but what they say and what they do never really adds up. They talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. So in today's video, I wanted to share with you 5 traits of an authentic person and what that looks like. And don't forget, if you like this video and you find it helpful, please share it with your loved ones, your significant other, your friends, whoever you think needs to hear this message. I would love if you would share it with them, and also don't forget to leave a thumbs up. So let's go ahead and get started.
I've been in your waters, been knocking at your door. I know one thing for sure, I've never been so close before. You were truly my love, but it was over so fast.
So I wanted to start off with one of my favorite quotes of all time. It is by Dr. Seuss, and it states, "Today you are you, that is truer than true. There is no one alive who is youer than you." And this is something that I constantly think about. It's something that's stuck with me ever since I was a kid, and I'm constantly reminding myself that I am a unique individual. I am the only one of myself that exists. Anybody that tries to copy or replicate me, it's impossible, because you are a unique individual and nobody else will ever be you. And to me, this is the first step in becoming an authentic person, is to recognize that you are an individual, and no matter what anybody does to try and copy you or be like you, they never will be, because there is only one you. And that's something to accept, to embrace, something to run with, and also something that will make you a stronger human being. And some of the most authentic people that I have ever met, which is very rare I might add, they are very unique individuals, and what you see is what you get. They don't only talk the talk but also walk the walk, and it is a breath of fresh air. They radiate this warmth, this positivity. You're instantly drawn to them because every time that you see them, nothing changes. They are that person that you see in that moment. They do not change, and that is so rare in today's society. And authentic people, these are the people that you want to surround yourself with, that you want in your circle. You want them to be your friends, your significant other. You want them by your side throughout your life, because these are the best people. So the first trait of an authentic person is being introspective, or in other words, they're constantly looking inward versus outward. Their focus is always internal versus external. So instead of worrying about what everybody else is doing and trying to keep up with the Joneses and try to mimic everybody else and compete with them or keep up with them, they are totally focused on the internal, what they can change, because you cannot change external things, but you can change you. So if you're focused on yourself and you're constantly self-reflecting and thinking, what can I do better? What can I do to make myself a better person? Then your world will change. And eventually your outward world will change if you put all your focus internally. And also, being introspective means that you recognize your feelings and emotions and you're comfortable with them. So no matter if you feel very happy, you express that. If you feel sad, you're also okay with expressing that, because you recognize those feelings and you recognize your emotions, and you are totally okay with what is happening internally because you are content with who you are as a person. And also, these same people are eager to grow, but yet they're comfortable with where they are at now. So no matter if they have goals, dreams, aspirations, they are still comfortable with where they are at in that moment. And that is so important, and something that a lot of people struggle with is they're constantly thinking, what's next? What does the future hold? What does it look like? And they're already stressing about something that hasn't happened yet. So therefore, you're putting yourself in a stressful situation now, and you're also setting yourself up for stress later. So instead of stressing about what the future holds, because you never know what the future might hold, things change on a dime. They change so quickly and you never know how it's going to turn out. It's best to accept where you are at now and be grateful and thankful for all of the things that are in your life in this moment. The next trait of an authentic person is accepting themselves as they are. So no matter if they are an imperfect person, because every single person on this planet is imperfect. Nobody is perfect. Even if it seems that way on social media, nobody is perfect. And it's important to accept who you are in the moment and be comfortable with that, because as I said in the beginning, there is no one alive who is youer than you. You are a unique individual. Nobody can take that away from you, and that is your superpower and something to totally embrace and accept, and something that should empower you. And also, they won't change for anyone. So no matter what type of person they're around, no matter if that person is rude to them, if they're kind to them, no matter what the situation, they stay true to themselves. What you see is what you get, and it is so important to embrace your core values, to stay true to your core values, especially if you know that they are good, solid moral values. You know your character is good, you know you're a good person. You have to stick with that and maintain that no matter what situation you're in, no matter what people you're around. Trait number 3 is to be kind and loving. And when I say loving, I also mean loving yourself first. And this is so important and something that is not taught a lot, because if you get into any relationship and you don't love yourself first, that relationship will never succeed. And you might never feel the love from the other person, even if they love you, because you do not love yourself first. So therefore you are unfulfilled within yourself, and so you can't even take on another relationship because you don't love yourself first. And also being kind to other people. And this is one of the hardest things that I have learned, is how to be kind to people that don't seemingly deserve it. People that have been maybe rude or hateful to you, to try and be loving and kind towards them. It's something that I try to work on, something very, very difficult to achieve. But think about how someone that has been kind to you, how that made you feel. Someone gave you a genuine compliment, or they smiled at you maybe on a really bad day that you were having, or someone that did something nice for you for no reason at all. They just did it to be kind. And think about how that made you feel. And then oppositely, think of how you felt when someone was rude to you or hateful to you, said something that hurt you way down deep. Think about how that made you feel. And one of the most undervalued principles in today's society is treating people the way you want to be treated. This is something that I grew up reciting in school, thinking about in school, and it's something that I don't see a lot of, especially in recent events. It makes me so sad to see people treating people the way that they do. So it's always important to remember, treat people the way you want to be treated. No matter what person you run into in life, always be kind and loving towards them, because you never know what that person is going through. You only see what's on the outside, you never see what's in the inside. So always be kind and always be loving. Moving on to trait number 4, that is taking responsibility. So owning up to what you did wrong and genuinely, the key word being genuinely, apologizing to somebody. So I see this a lot, especially with parents and their kids, and if their child does something wrong, they say apologize or say you're sorry. But to me, this does not teach how to apologize genuinely and how to take responsibility for something, because it's just a rote practice. It's not instilling the value of taking responsibility for your actions. And sometimes this can be so difficult. I'm not saying that it's not, to apologize and take responsibility for something that you did wrong, because it's like, it's a bitter taste in your mouth sometimes, but it is so important in being an authentic person, because when you do apologize and take responsibility for something, people know that you are true, that you are genuine in apologizing and taking responsibility, and they can count on you and also trust you. All right, finally, trait number 5 is living in the moment and being a great listener. So some of the best, most authentic people in the world are wonderful listeners, and there is nothing like sitting down to a conversation with somebody that actually listens to you. And this is something that I have observed in so many people, that they are terrible listeners, and nobody enjoys a conversation with a bad listener. They just don't, because it's not enjoyable, because they're either looking off, they either change the subject, they turn the subject back towards themselves, and they are totally uninterested and not engaged in what you are saying. So it is very important to be an active listener and a genuine listener. So when someone is speaking to you, to make eye contact with you and not, stare them down and intimidate them, but to make eye contact with them, kind of nod your head if you're following along with what they're saying, do little phrases or words that tell that you are listening to them, and to actively engage with them. And people will appreciate that, and they will reciprocate it. And that is the most important part, is that if you are an authentic listener, genuine listener, then people will reciprocate that most of the time, not all of the time, but they will reciprocate that back to you. And it is so refreshing and wonderful to have a conversation with someone that is a great, engaged, and active listener. And living in the moment goes right along with being a great listener, because if you are actively engaged with someone, then you are living in the moment, you're alive, you're thankful for where you are in that moment, you're not living in some fantasy world, you're not thinking of who you're going to talk to next, what's on your to-do list, what's on your agenda, what's happening tomorrow, what's happening in the next room. You are totally focused on the moment at hand. And that is so important in enjoying life, and to wring every single good thing out of life is to take advantage of every single moment that you are in, to enjoy every moment that you're in, even the hardships, the bad times, to embrace them, to reflect on them. And it's amazing, especially with children, if you are having a conversation with them and you're distracted, they will pick up on that, and they will eventually, even with like older people in their 20s, they will quit trying if they find that you are not engaged with them or trying with them. They will get fed up with it, and they will stop trying to live in the moment with you because you have not shown them the same respect. So it is so important to be respectful of people by living in the moment and actively engaging with them. And to quote Robin Williams in Dead Poets Society, he said, "Suck the marrow out of life. Get every single thing out of life that you can. Live in the moment and embrace every single moment." So this does conclude my 5 traits of an authentic person. Thank you guys so much for watching. And again, if you liked it, you enjoyed it, you found it helpful, please leave a thumbs up and share it with someone that you think needs to hear this message. And I will see you on Friday. Bye.